In this example, the idea is to create a two-dimensional array consisting of m rows and n columns, and how to find the minimum and the maximum element within that array. So this will give you a chance to understand how we work with multidimensional or two-dimensional arrays in Java. So let us see how that is done. So in this example, we have a main method, and within that we have created a multi-dimensional array of size 4 cross 3. That means there are 4 rows and 3 columns, and these are the 4 rows, and each of the rows are having 3 elements or 3 columns. And the way we have defined it is we have to mention how many dimensions are supported in this manner by adding the number of square brackets representing each of the dimensions. So since this is a two-dimensional array, there will be 2 dimension. If it is a 3-dimensional array, there will be 3 square brackets. Now, once we have declared and defined our primitive integer two-dimensional array, the next thing is to find the maximum and the minimum in that particular array. Now, how we can do that? So we assign the current row 0 and column 0 element as the smallest and the largest. So it is the current smallest, current minimum, and the current maximum of this entire array. Now we define a for loop which will iterate over all the rows, and within that particular for loop we again have one more nested for loop to iterate over the columns. And how we are doing that? In the outer loop, we can see that we are using multi-array.length, which will actually give you the length of the first dimension. The length of the first dimension is nothing but 4 in this case. And the loop which comes within that, the nested for loop, runs for multi-array I dot length. So multi-array I means one specific row. So if the I value is 0, it will point to this particular array. If the I value is 2, it will point to this particular array. And then what we are doing is we are finding the length of this array. So this basically means it will be 3 for each of these arrays, because the length of these arrays are 3. That means the number of columns that we are supporting in this multi-array is also 3. Now what we do is we find the current smallest and the current largest. So we compare the current element at index I comma j of this array with the current smallest value. So if we find that the smallest is still the smallest, we keep it unchanged, and if it is not, then we assign the current ith and jth value of this array to the smallest. We use math.min to find that, and same for the largest. So if the current element at index I comma j is larger than the current largest value, then we assign that new value to the largest or keep the existing largest value. And in the end, we print out the smallest and the largest of this array.